picking up where we left off yesterday with Teddy Roosevelt and the Square Deal. The Square Deal was Teddy Roosevelt's plan for domestic reform, Roosevelt being the first of the three progressive presidents, Roosevelt, Taft, and Wilson. The three C's of the Square Deal were consumer protection, curbing corporations, and conservation of nature. Teddy Roosevelt was really into conservation of nature because he loved nature. Consumer protection and curbing corporations was all about protecting the average American over big business. The Hepburn and Elkins Act regulated the railroad's ability to overcharge farmers in the West, and this is an example of both consumer protection in terms of the farmers and curbing corporations in terms of controlling the railroads and the amount of money that they were able to make. The coal strike that happened in 1902 while Roosevelt was in office was the first time during a union management issue that the government is on the side of the workers. So this represents a big change from the Gilded Age when workers always lost to management when the government got involved. If you need to pause it here, I'm about to change the slide. You've got 4 amendments that are passed during the Progressive era. Most of these, again, are about rights to the people or reflect that change in corruption, which is what the Progressive era was all about, is getting rid of the corruption in government, business, and society. So the 16th Amendment establishes a graduated income tax. The way I remember this is that you can legally get a job when you are 16. When you get a job, you start paying an income tax. So the 16th Amendment establishes a graduated income tax. The 17th Amendment was direct election of senators, so this is giving more power to the people. Both the 16th and the 17th Amendment had been goals of the populist movement, so these are both ways that the populist movement succeeded even after it had really ended, even after the Populist Party was over. The 18th Amendment was passed thanks to the temperance movement and people like Crazy Carrie Nation and her hatchet in the bar smashing up liquor bottles. The 18th Amendment establishes prohibition of alcohol. I remember that because when you're 18, it's illegal to drink. So 18th Amendment, prohibition of alcohol. 19th Amendment, women's right to vote. After their involvement in World War II, they were able to fight for equal rights, including getting a constitutional amendment to vote. I'm going to switch sides, so pause if needed. Standard Oil versus the United States. The government actually enforces the Sherman Antitrust Act. So when the Sherman Antitrust Act was passed during the Gilded Age, the government never really enforced it because the government was still on the side of big business. Roosevelt gets into office and he actually starts enforcing the Sherman Antitrust Act, and he does this with Standard Oil versus the U.S., which forces Standard Oil to break into little pieces because it is acknowledged as being a monopoly. Roosevelt decides not to run for a third term. He handpicks Taft to replace him. He gets mad at Taft, comes home from his elephant safari, tries to get the Republican nomination, fails, starts his own party, the Bull Moose Party. Wilson wins the election of 1912 because the Republican Party is split, with half of them voting for Roosevelt, the other half voting for Taft. That means that Wilson gets the majority. During Wilson's presidency, sorry, I forgot to give you a chance to pause. During Wilson's presidency, he passes the Underwood Tariff, which is great for consumers. Remember that high tariffs are good for business because it allows them to drive up the cost, because if you get it from another country, you're paying the high tariff. However, that means the government loses money because that tariff is a tax which goes to the government. So Wilson uses the 16th Amendment, the Graduated Income Amendment, to replace lost income from the lowered tariff. Probably the biggest thing he does is the Federal Reserve Act. So this creates a national banking system and a national system of money. So for the first time, we have a dollar bill that can be accepted anywhere in the country. He also passes the Clayton Antitrust Act, which protects unions and strengthens the Sherman Antitrust Act. pause here. All right, so when you came in, you should have picked up a note card. On that note card, you can write anything you would like, anything from laissez-faire through the Clayton Antitrust Act, and you can use that note card to help you on your 15-question multiple choice quiz on Monday. So that is my gift to you to help you prepare for your exam. You are not required to do it. It will not be a grade. If you have it, you can use it.